Hahnemannian Materia Medica and other Materia Medicas. So, in today's session, I want to discuss with you about why most of the homeopath fails, why scientific evidences of homeopathy are not appreciated by so many peoples in the community. Recently, I read a one sentence that my mind can't believe homeopathy, but my body believes it. So friends, in today's video, I want to share with you a very important techniques of homeopathic practice that are very helpful for a homeopath, and not only the homeopath, but it is very important for those critics they don't believe in homeopathy. So friends, let's get started because Hahnemann is the most important and first person in the history of medicine. He contributes so many things in the homeopathy. So one important aspect is the homeopathic materia medica and the process of preparation of homeopathic medicine or the pharmacy. So he discovered the very advanced technique of making medicines. So why a present critics or present scientists can't believe it? So there are lots of reason, and because of all these things, so many homeopaths are unaware about why homeopathy can't works in every case. So how homeopathic medicine works in every case. So all these things I want to make it clear in this video. So please watch this video till the end so you get a lot of information that is helpful for your practice, and also those critics and those laymen they want to take a homeopathic treatment, they are able to get believe in mind, and body is always believing in the homeopathy. So friends, so important thing is a Hahnemannian Materia Medica. So master's first important invention in the history of medicine is so only those substances that are existed in our earth, so that have ability to produce the certain kinds of illnesses. So that's why these substances have ability to produce the disease. So this is the very important discovery in the history of medical science or in the medicine. But unfortunately, so many things are developed on the same principle as I already described in the last video of COVID vaccine. Not only the COVID vaccine, but most of the vaccines theory is very much similar to the way of homeopathic principle, but they differs into the preparation of medicine. But in spite of all these things, so another important things that are very necessity to understand for a homeopath and also the laymen or the critics, how homeopathic works. Mostly homeopathic works on the basis of immune response through the hormesis. So we should know about what hormesis is. And another important physiological defense of our body is always try to maintain the homeostasis. So all these things are very important for every homeopath to know homeopathy, and also along with that quantum physics. So nowadays, so there are lots of research on the quantum physics are going on, but before that homeopathy is discovered. That's why so many critics and scientists are not believing in the homeopathy. So it is same thing like that more than 200 years ago, so many people think that earth is a flat, but the scientists said that not earth is a round, but that scientists are to be disallowed to present his discoveries about earth. So that means if you don't know anything, that means it doesn't exist, it is a wrong concept. So friends, in this regard, so I want to make it clear you about what actually the Hahnemannian Materia Medica is. So after the death of Hahnemann, so most of the genuine teachings of Hahnemann are ignored by homeopath only. And that's why a layman and other peoples don't know about what actually the Hahnemannian Materia Medica is. So two important Materia Medica from Hahnemann side are the Materia Medica Pura and theory of chronic disease. So important aspect to understand the Hahnemannian Materia Medica is very important to know how it works. So we should know about that only those drugs has ability to produce the disease, that has ability to produce the cure the disease. So in aphorism number 71, because we should understand about the what is natural disease. In this regard also, Hahnemannian thinking is lot advanced as compared to the present science, because it is in a very micro level. So he described most of the symptoms of all diseases in the form of secondary sora and psychosis and syphilis. It is the new pathological terminology given by Master Hahnemann to pathology and also to the medicine. So for that we should understand about the uh, all kinds of diseases by Hahnemannian way. But nowadays, so these small diseases are just grouped in some of the group of symptoms, and we are just named as a diabetes or any kind of typhoid or a malaria or flu or whatever it may be. There so many names we have just created for certain kinds of illnesses to specific forms of disease. But whatever may be the group of that disease, but in depth, when we understood what actually the disease is, it is just a DNA reflection. So nowadays a genomic theory is now just get evolving, and they are able to understand that every genes is reflecting to the every disease differently, so that most of the persons are suffering from fever or any kind of illnesses, they have their own presentation, own differentiation or own expression of their genes. So, for example, so many people ask about that homeopath don't know about the microorganisms and all these things. So these are just a part and parcel. They are only a morbific agent. They are only the agent to produce the disease. Yes, they are important. We should know about that. But lakhs of years ago or thousands of years ago, if anyone is suffering from illnesses, so body is reflecting the same in the form of symptoms. For example, anyone eats some bad food, he might suffering from food poisoning, so her body or his body exaggerate with the vomitings, nausea or sometimes of fever and all these things. So similarly, any person is suffering from smallpox at that time, so he have a very specific kinds of features in fever or rashes and all other things. Or in a cholera there is a loose motions, and accordingly the specific kinds of symptoms are narrated by the patients. So in homeopathy, master understood that what is thing behind that, what is the antecedent of all these things, and he discovered that it is very difficult to go in depth of antecedent of any cause or any disease. But there are a very important aspect in the science, that is the cause and effect. If we should know about one of them, either we should know about the cause or either we should know about the effect. But in history of medicine or our experiences tells us that uh, effect is better understood by from the patients. We don't know about the cause, because every time cause is in a very depth and in depth, or every typical antecedent for that. So accordingly in the aphorism number 71, so first important aspect for every homeopath, we should be very much aware about the actual effects of natural disease, what actually the natural disease is, how it expressed by the patients, we should understand in detail and very properly with the subjectiveness or individualistic approach of the patient. And second important thing that master expressed in this aphorism is the tool, because we have the only tool to treat that natural disease is the materia medica. Unfortunately, in homeopathy, after Hahnemannian Materia Medica, so many Materia Medicas are evolved, or so many authors have added their own experience, but somehow or because of unawareness of the scientific approaches by uh, another homeopaths after Hahnemannian era, so there are lots of psychosomatic or some behavioral patterns or some another techniques are just get triggered in the homeopathy, and they seems like a pseudo homeopathy or they seems like a pseudoscience. But actually homeopathy is not pseudoscience, it is based on the mathematical calculations. So for that, we should understand about the Hahnemannian Materia Medica properly. What actually the Hahnemann Materia Medica tells us. So Master proved every drug in very detail in on the healthy provers on humans. As all the drugs from allopathy or some other sciences are proved on animals, experimental animals, and then they tried on humans. But in homeopathy, all drugs are proved on humans and all ages and all sex, so that he gathered actual pathogenetic effects of hundreds of medicines in his Materia Medica, and he collected the lakhs of symptoms of that kind, subjective symptoms we call it as a, and out of all that symptoms every drug has their specific pathogenicity or specific affinity towards an organ or towards a system or how they act, their pace, everything is differ from every drug. So likewise in the natural diseases too we get a very different forms of patient, and same patient with the same illness have their own differentiation. Or take an example of schizophrenia, or take an example of simple migraine also. Everyone has their own specific modalities, everyone has there is a different locations. Some things are common, but most of the time 20% symptoms are differ from each and everyone. So these things when we are able to collect all these things, that is the important aspect for every homeopath. So as every homeopath should become aware about the hormesis and all these techniques of Hahnemannian Materia Medica in depth, pathogenicity and all these things in detail. So accordingly, we should get very easy understanding of disease and their treatment. So last point that Master expressed in this 71 aphorism in this regard to the Materia Medica. So if you selected a proper remedy after complete understanding of a natural disease, if you prescribe in a wrong way, in a wrong forms or wrong potency, you will not get succeed into cure that illnesses. So for that we should understand about the last invention of Master Hahnemann, that is the LM potency, how to use that LM potency. I already created the video of LM potency, how to use it, what are the importance of that LM potency, and also the difference between C potency and LM potency, also the proper preparation methods. So if you want to watch that videos, I have given the link of that video in description box, so you can watch there also. So along with that, lastly, I want to tell about homeopathic belief systems in the so many constitutions. So the word I used in the constitutions, that most of the people in the community, they can't believe in the homeopathy. But most of the time, if they take the treatment of from homeopath, they get succeeded in their illnesses very easily, and they never suffer from same illnesses. They are either 10 or 20 years. Friends, I want to tell you about that for not only to the homeopath but also to the community. If you are want to become really a healthy person, if you want to become uh, very much strong your body, so you need to take the homeopathic treatment. But you should take treatment from the right homeopath. In the homeopathy there are lots of another wrong methods are just nowadays applying by applied homeopaths. So mixopathy or just some mix combinations of drugs or mother tinctures or some applications. So all things are not actually the homeopathic, because always masters tells us that if you want to cure the patients, if you want to practice homeopathy genuinely, you should be very genuine to your ethics of Hahnemannian teachings. So that's why master calls his followers that they are the real and true followers of Hahnemann. So he called them as a genuine practical homeopath. That's why I have created a platform for those scientific minded homeopaths, those want to succeed in curing the patient. They want to cure patients really, actually, and each and every case, if they are want to cure, either patient is acute or either patient is a chronic disease, we are able to succeed in each and every case. My success rate is mostly not only my, but those homeopaths, they learn from me or they following the same techniques, so they are able to succeed in 80, more than 80% of patients they are able to cure very easily. And after the invention of Master Hahnemann about the LM potency, so the span of cure of homeopathy is just reduced. So in previously, most of the community men's and lay people thinks that if you want to take homeopathy, it takes a longer duration to cure, but it is not like that. After the discovery of LM potency by Master Hahnemann, so it just a very short span of cure of any kind of illness. In the acute illness, you are able to cure very faster than allopathy. In viral fevers, even in the flu, or even in the COVID cases also. We just cure so many patients, thousands of patients of COVID-19 also we have cured very easily. So friends, if you want to learn that homeopathy, watch our previous videos and our channel. And if you want to know more about homeopathy, please visit our website and our Facebook page also. And if you think that this video is helpful for you, so please share with your friends and like. And if you want something more about from me about a genuine practical homeopathy, so please subscribe our channel. Thank you.